sci-fi writers playing old school D&D, and there is nothing more chaotic than that music stopping just dead like that because I uploaded the wrong track, except for Chaos Actual Nick Cole. How are you, sir?
Get it on.
Get it on. The Substack is hopping and popping. You are doing some great things over there. It's just fantastic, and it's fantastic to have you here. We appreciate it.
I am so. This is the highlight of my week because I kill it all week because I'm an American and I love what I do, making content and everything like that. And so over at the Substack, I think yesterday's post was teaching people how to write a book. So if you've ever wanted to learn how to write a book, come on over to the Substack. Tomorrow, we're actually going to be dropping some chapters in a novel I wrote called Soda Pop Soldier, the sequel book. And so you might want to join in and sub and have a good time. And also there's lots of the lovely single white Medusa as my sidekick.
And everybody knows that, she's a big draw, of course. And speaking of big draw, we have Wilbur Aloysius Kuchenmeyer. Would you like to tell Nick what we were talking about before the show with somebody who might have been on the spectrum?
Which one are we talking about?
237 times.
Oh, yeah.
That he flicked his knife open.
Yeah, so I won't be doing this too often. So whoever's keeping count, that was 2.
And speaking of keeping count, we have Lieutenant Rick James.
Good afternoon.
It's properly said. I'm Rick James, damn it.
I saved those for the important moments. Don't want to overdo it.
Because
I've been studying at the Nick Cole School of Acting.
Right on. And then we have, speaking of the School of Acting, we have J Mac playing Crowley. How are you, sir?
Doing well. Looking forward to a little lone wolf and gnome.
Yo, settle down. Don't oversell it, buddy.
Oh, sorry.
And of course, playing almost Big Benny, we have legendary game designer James M. Ward. How are you, sir?
Dun, 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 dun. Last but not least in the hearts of fans.
Oh, definitely neither. But of course, from our we should really name them as a sister stream, where they have a different Forgotten Ruin game going on. But we have Sinokin playing Richardson today. How are you, sir?
Doing good.
So one of our Galaxy's Edge insiders, who may or may not know our guest from last week, Naylin. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself, sir?
Nothing too exciting. I'm stay-at-home dad, so I stay at home.
But he used to be a sailor.
Yeah, I was prior Navy. Didn't go anywhere. Didn't do anything. Other than that, just big fan of the Galaxy's Edge Forgotten Ruin universes and having fun when I can.
That's awesome. I was a stay-at-home dad in my first marriage when I was in the military, but I kept going away on deployment.
Yeah, I don't.
I kept telling my first shirt, like, "Hey, dude, I'm a stay-at-home dad. I can't make 6:30 formation."
How did that go over?
They had other thoughts in the infantry. They had strong feelings on the subject of formation, as all prior service knows. They get a little hard and fast about that showing up for that.
A little bit. Did you ever get NJP'd for that one?
Yes. No, I got my NJP for other stuff, but I always showed up at the right time in the right uniform, ready to work. I may have had a saucy attitude about it, though.
Right on. I'm not going to ask what the NJP was for. So to recap, last week you guys recovered Benny from his state of unlife, and Benny was subsequently changed a little bit because he is now the gnome part of the Lone Wolf and Gnome that he now shares as a partnership with Crowley. You guys moved about the dock and met Nemesis in the form of Trago, who you discovered was named Vincent Tetraglia, and Chaos Actual kind of discovered that he was the deep state operative from the first Ranger mission that is now currently occupying the Broken Teeth. After getting some information from gnomish allies of Big Benny, you guys ventured forth to an island close by where it is populated almost in total by the dead. There was one live inhabitant, but because you guys decided to shell the beach in preparation of your landing so you wouldn't be summarily surprised, you, of course, finished off the lone inhabitant who you met later as a ghost. You had now ventured into the fort and made your way into the fort, the broken fort that you guys were looking for cannons. You'd recovered one cannon and sent Lamb back with it to the back to the beach to load on the boat, and then encountered a necromancer. After some clever usage of the phantasmal force spells, the proper application of firearms, and Crowley shooting nobody in the back this time, you guys finished off the necromancer and the juggernaut that was coming to assist him. You are now in that particular hallway. You're pretty much set up to do what you need to do next or where you need to go. So where would you like to go next?
Keep searching.
All right, so you have a door to your front that is cracked, kind of hanging. It looks like heavy, really, really heavy oak or wood, but everything just seems to be rotten and kind of falling away here. So you might have to kick it down.
Come on, door kicker.
Who's going to be the guy with the boots?
All right, I'm gonna do it. Someone's got to take charge. My 9 strength.
You're going to have to, with the 9 strength, kick the door. I can't wait to see this. Go ahead and give me an ability check. Roll that strength or below.
Got a natural 1, so that's a pass.
Oh, really?
No, that's a good.
Yeah. You got it. So you kick your foot straight through the door.
Must have been rotted.
Yeah, you get caught a little bit. It's it takes a minute to free you. The daggers are trying not to laugh. There might or might not have been a lieutenant joke in there somewhere. You get the door off its hinges, and there is a room with what looks like some like broken beds. There is a desk and a nightstand, and not much else.
Gotta check out the desk.
All right, we're gonna look up, down, and all around to see if we observe any traps or anything that might kill us.
Okay. Nothing that you can see. Benny, give me a roll of a 1d6. You're looking for 5 or 6, and this is based on some of the info I sent you during the week. You had asked about your character's class.
Yes. Got a 6.
That's good. You start rifling through the desk, and then Benny pulls back, puts his hands up, and backs all the way up to the wall.
Do I hear any whispering?
No, you do not. But Benny points out that there are what looks like large grubs about the size of like from in between your index finger and thumb.
Ooh.
They look like big white maggots, basically, and they're crawling around the desk. You missed them at first because they were inside the drawer, but now that you're there, you can see them, and they're not moving very fast, but it doesn't look like something you want to put your hand into.
Sure. No bookworms.
But you can see just a little bit past the desk, there does appear to be like a small black notebook, almost like a moleskin notebook.
Ooh. Wizards, why don't you check that out?
I will. I am going to walk, and once I'm sure there are no traps, I'm going to shoo the buggers away. with my let's see what I got that's gonna so I don't have to touch them just in case. With my silver dagger, I'll just sort of scrape them out of the way and grab the literature.
How do you make sure there's no traps, Lieutenant?
I looked up, down, and all around, Big Benny.
That's not gonna work for you.
it's a good thing you have Benny with you because he's got tiny hands. He can get the hands.
I do have tiny hands.
Yeah, you take the notebook out. It's seen better days. The cover's pretty rotted and chewed up. But as you open it up, the notebook is written in English.
Oh,
Cool.
what does it say?
It's an account of somebody who keeps repeating the phrase, "Damn it, I can't believe they locked me out." Something about a research facility, something involving something called spectral transference, and a lot of bitching and moaning in the journal. It's basically his account of trying to survive in the island. He has set up traps and has used some of the and there's like tons of quotes or underlines around it. Some of the research to acquire assistance in helping him.
So ghosts.
Hard to say. He's a little bit vague, but the longer he writes, like as you get toward the back of the notebook, the more insane things start becoming. Very strange scripts. You start seeing things are scrawled in blood, weird markings. Some of the markings are written in the language that Carlo, your mage who stayed on the boat, he's been showing you some of these glyphs that are like key to incantations, and some of these glyphs are magical in nature.
Okay. Is there
not full spells, but something that might lead to full spells later on?
Okay, so we'll stow the book away, and I'll pass on everything I read to Captain Rock Powers.
Does anybody have anything to drink?
It seems like a pretty dry hole right now.
Well, we might want to go back to the ship and get something for me to drink.
Because sobriety is creeping up fast.
Yeah, this is all getting way too real. No,
I'll be happy to give you my bottle of rum, Captain.
Okay, I'll take it.
There you go.
Is Gwendolyn with us?
Yes, she's hanging out in the back with Dagger number 5 and consoling him because Dagger number 2 was stabbed in the face.
So I'm
messed up by that.
Yeah, I'm going to ask her if she managed to convert that grotto water into healing potions.
No. Not
so
her
we still have some, well, she was going to. She volunteered. So she made it.
I thought you were talking about Sister Spider, the agent, the Elvis agent. Oh, no. You were talking about Gwendolyn. No, she's back toward where the back in like the palm grove that's just outside.
Okay.
And she's setting up like a safety zone. So if you guys get swamped, you can kind of get there and you'll have protection from some of the undead that's around.
I'll point out to the captain that she has some of that grotto water, could probably heal him of his addiction.
He's not addicted. He can stop anytime he wants.
And the silence was heavy.
Yes.
And the silence was heavy. All right. So pretty much nothing in this room other than that notebook. Hey, Lord Gazumba, Jay Scott, how are you, sir? He runs a very, very, very cool channel over on Twitch. We love Jay. Thank you so much for coming out, sir. Yeah, where do you guys go from here?
Let's go deeper in. Let's proceed farther in.
Okay. So it took you a little bit to kind of decipher the notebook. So as you guys are moving, I assume you start going down this hallway here?
Yes.
We all have our holy water available and on our waist or whatever. Yeah.
Okay. So Lamb comes back and kind of pushes his way.
I will drink my holy water. Is it good? Does it do anything?
No, don't do that.
But I already did.
It's very refreshing.
But do I catch a buzz?
No. No, very sorry. So, you know, as you're about to start venturing down this hallway, you see Lamb kind of push his way from the back, and he comes up to you and stands uncomfortably close to you, Chaos Actual, and he says, "Sir, cannons are on the ship."
Excellent. I need you to do a very important mission for me.
Yes, sir.
I need you to go back to the ship and get the emergency cask of rum I keep next to my pillow in my cabin.
He says, "It will be done." And then he hands you.
I need you to run fast and get right back here because it's an emergency.
He says, "I will do this." And then he hands you like a huge wine bladder that he's kind of fashioned with a strap so you can kind of wear it like a camelback.
Right.
And he says, "Hold on, I'll go get more rum." And he hands that to you, and he turns around and he says, "I'm running." As he's walking away very slowly and methodically, he's like, "I'm running."
What's in the bladder? Let's give that a shot.
Rum.
Wine. Rum.
I've got rum and emergency rum on the way. Everything's great. Don't get yourselves killed. Big Benny, do you want to lead from the front?
No, I always like to stand behind the captain because it's safer there.
All right, so who's going to be in the front?
All right, I'll go forward. I want to use my perception, though, as I get to the front.
All right. What do you want to do?
You perceive.
I don't know. I just don't.
Wine bladder full of rum.
I just don't want to run face first into traps. So I want to kind of see if I can percept any traps.
Again, how are you checking for traps?
Yeah.
Wait.
Well, I have passive perception.
Are you DMing here?
No, I'm just.
Your DMing license was revoked. I'm afraid.
I'm just asking because I'm concerned that he doesn't have the skill that he thinks he does.
I'm just asking.
I don't have detect traps, but
what
I
if
do
Gary
have
Gygax
perception.
was DMing, like you used to playing games with him? Would you have done that?
In a second, I did it all the time.
Well, I guess that's okay.
I believe that too.
And we don't have Gary to consult to see if that was true or not.
Yeah, really. We can ask his sons if you want. They were there.
We'll get him on here and let's talk about the bad behavior of James M. Ward.
Yeah.
We have a request for a constitution check for the captain with all this drinking and up and down his addiction.
All right.
It doesn't affect his constitution. It affects his dexterity.
Well, I failed my constitution check by rolling an 18, so I'm already a little drunk.
Great.
All right. So you don't detect any traps in the first 10 feet because I assume you're like kicking walls, pushing on things, jumping up and down, trying to trigger skip plates and stuff like that.
Yeah.
All right. So you don't detect anything in the first 10 feet. It takes about 5 minutes to do all that. Do you continue doing that every 10 feet?
Yeah, a little quicker though. Maybe a little careless, but like, you know.
Okay. So as you're doing that, you guys make it all the way down the hallway, and then there's this room that seems kind of empty. And as you're jumping up and down on plates and stuff like onto the floor and stuff like that, this whole section of floor just falls away.
What a surprise.
Give me a dexterity check just to make sure you don't fall in the hole. So that would be your dexterity or below.
Crowley, or
that's a 20.
What's that?
I roll a 20.
Oh,
Yes.
No. Do I roll a d20?
oh yes. You roll a d20 and you want your dexterity score or below.
Okay, I got a 12 and my dexterity is 13.
All right, yeah, you're good. All right, so you're kind of like, hopping up and down and kind of like, doing the like, the Rocky Balboa jump rope skip to kind of see if any of your weight will trigger anything on the flagstones. And as you're doing that, this entire section of the floor kind of falls away, and you see spikes and punji sticks. But it was the way the floor fell away that kind of made you almost lose your balance at first and fall over, because it was so odd. It wasn't like just a thing where the floor opened up. It wasn't a thing where the floor fell and just laid in the hole. The stones actually came apart and then floated down a foot or two and then inserted themselves into the wall. But below, on the about 20 feet down, there's tons of metallic spikes, and writhing on one of those spikes is a skeleton. The thing is still moving. It sees you up above and starts like trying to pull itself off of the spike, but it can't seem to get the traction it needs to do what it needs to do.
Well, I do my signature move and I talk to it.
So you're talking to the skeleton? Or what do you say?
Hey, how's it going down there? Think you've seen better days?
It says, like all you guys are standing around, and he's like, "How's it going down there?" And you hear the thing like hiss. Crowley, you actually hear bad.
Yeah, I can see that. I wave up Dagger 5 to my side because I'm gonna need a little help with this.
All right. What do you do?
Is there any way we can get in the room, or is it just totally no floor?
Totally no floor right now.
I can help you.
All right.
I have a grappling hook.
Okay, I'll let JR do his thing.
I'm going to toss a grappling hook and see if I can hook the skeleton and pull him up without him disintegrating.
It's an undead horribleness. Come on.
So you're going to try and hook the skeleton and pull him up by yourself? You're not strong enough.
Well, I'm going to point out to Crowley once we hook him that we'll all pull him. And then if we have to kill him, we kill him and we get the XP.
He's already dead.
We'll kill him again with our silver sword.
He's undead.
All right, you bring him all the way up?
We'll bring him a little close to the top, and we'll talk to him there. We'll get Crowley to do his negotiator thing.
Crowley, it hisses some more, and you hear in your head, all the way up. Pull all the way up.
Yeah, okay. I'm back watching our 6.
You're back there with Richardson, who seems to share your concern about the matter.
Yeah.
I look at Captain Rock Powers and I say, "Are you sober enough to give your opinion, sir?"
Yes.
Do we pull him up?
I don't see why there would be any problem with that. Perhaps he's an ally.
All right, we'll pull him up.
Oh my God.
All right, so the thing is a lot bigger in front of you than it was at the bottom of the pit.
What a surprise.
It's got armored shin plates and forearm plates. It's wearing a breastplate with what looks like a large kraken coming off from like the left side of the ribs, and all of the tentacles and stuff wrap around the shoulder. It's wearing a cracked helmet with damaged mail on it. It's part of its jaw, the left side of its jaw is worn away, and it has 4 arms. It gets to the top, and then it's towering over you, J-Mac. This thing is probably about 8 feet tall, and it says "Command."
I just want to ask you, how'd you get down there? Did you fall into that trap?
It says "Command."
Command.
Yep.
Go help Lamb bring back the cask of liquor.
It looks it's staring like straight down the hallway, almost like a soldier at attention. It looks down at you and then looks down the hallway, and then it says "Specify."
We have a ship that has alcohol on it, and we sent a Frankenstein monster to go get it. I would like you to help him out.
Well, why don't we use him here to detect traps and run into stuff?
Are you going to... He just fell in a trap. You are heartless.
What's going to happen to him?
I'm glad that you understand me now better. This will cut down on further disappointments in your life.
Okay, so I tell this skeletal monster, I'm sorry, but my captain wants to use you as bait in a battering ram.
Don't apologize for the help.
No,
It shows weakness. You're in charge.
No, I am in charge.
Be in charge. Be a man, damn it.
Do you see the comment, Walt, that I tagged you for from Lord
No.
Darius?
No.
Talks about when James was saying that he's going to stay back. He said Benny recognizes his own bizarre methodology when he was talking about the demon going to hurt us.
He says it says floor, and it's definitely phrasing it as a question.
Floor question mark?
Yes.
I don't understand that.
It turns and like one of its arms kind of like goes behind it with its palm open. And it kind of brings its fingers together, and as it does, the stones come out of the lower part of the wall, float back up, and reassemble to floor.
Oh yeah, let's have a floor in here.
All right, so it nods, brings its arms back to normal, and then says, "Command."
Walk across it. Make sure it's stable still.
It starts walking in circles around the room.
Okay, cool. So the floor's solid.
Yeah, with all his armor, he's wearing 4 swords. He with everything he's got on him, he probably weighs at least 300 pounds.
Okay,
So,
I wanna move through the room to the other side of it.
All right, so as you guys progress a little bit, so I'll bring the map back up so we can see what we have going on. You have an entrance to your front, and then you have an exit where you can just check out the corner of stairs or what looks like a larger hallway off to the side. And then a door that's split, and it looks like it's leading outside.
You might want to borrow his 4 swords.
Who the
skeleton
guy? Nah,
Yeah.
I'm good with it.
Have him open this.
Are you afraid of him, Benny?
He's undead. He's evil.
Oh, he seems pretty chill to me.
That seems pretty racist.
Yeah, it does.
I think I'm a little uncomfortable with James M. Ward.
Othering of the undead.
I want to take the straightaway door.
All right, so you want to go into right here? Oh, well, it helps if I put it on the right screen. There we go,
Yeah.
right there.
I'm just joking, James. Skeletons are evil bastards.
They
The only
really
dead
are.
skeleton is a dead skeleton.
That's funny. This one is going to be our ruin. I just guarantee it.
What do you say to him specifically? Because he's standing in front of the door.
Oh,
Open
move
door.
through the door.
All right. He hacks it to pieces with the swords,
Yeah,
Thank
of
you.
course.
and then steps out of the way.
No, you're leading the way, buddy. You go through first.
It's a sign of our trust.
Yes.
All right. He enters the room and stops just inside.
Okay. I go in with him.
All right. It's small. It looks like a guard bastion for the outside. There on the walls, there are like slits. You can see the wooden remains of what might have been crossbows at one point. And there's a man probably been dead 3-4 months. He looks pretty mummified. He's slumped against the wall with the remnants of one of those crossbows in his hand, but the crossbow is intact.
Where is it aiming? Where's the crossbow aiming?
He's just got it across his lap because he's kind of slumped against the wall.
Okay, so
We should
I
definitely
want to take a page out of JR and Benny's book and loot his corpse.
Good job. Good job.
All right. As
This is when the mummy wakes up.
yeah, pretty much, right? So you're sifting through, you're doing your thing. Give me a saving throw.
Uh-oh.
Disease.
Is it an AoE thing?
A what?
Is it like an explosion, or I don't know what it's for?
No,
yet.
not an explosion. Nope.
Probably disease because you touched it.
I rolled a 10.
And what's your saving throw score? Should be right on the sheet.
It's a 12.
That's the old number. I believe you're a 10, so you're just gonna make it.
Okay.
Let me look real quick. But yeah, you're probably just gonna make it. Yes, you just make it. More of those like big thick grubs come out, and there's like a snap as this thing like grinds its teeth together and kind of just like moves its head over towards you as you were kind of rifling through his clothes. It just missed latching onto your wrist.
The mummified guard with the crossbow does this?
No, it's like those little leech grubs. Those.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I jump back because that is disgusting.
Why don't you talk to him? What's wrong with you?
I'm not undead. Jeez.
What do you do, if anything?
I'm backing out of the room. I'm not shooting at them.
Chicken.
I walk in the room and finish taking the crossbow. We might need it.
Give me a saving throw.
All right, my saving throw. I needed a 13. I got a 12.
You got to get over the 13, right?
Well, I do now, but I didn't make it.
All right, so you're like, I know you just grabbing the crossbow.
I was trying to kick it out of his hand away from him with my foot.
All right,
with my booted foot.
So you get it off the corpse, and as you're picking it up, you see that you turn it over in your hands, and there was one of them on the crossbow, and it slithers under the crossbow and attaches itself to your wrist.
Oh.
In your head, you hear, "Oh no, that's not good."
Okay. It probably, Jarrett, probably is a good thing. Then I drink some more.
You know that the psionic presence that has been with you since putting on that cloak is the one talking to you, and he's just like, you might want to do something about that sooner than later.
And I ask him if he has any suggestions.
Let's see. You could have the psychotic little kid cut your arm off. Maybe he could wear that as a necklace.
Yeah, that's not happening. Any other ideas?
You shouldn't stand here too long because, and as you look, the thing is burrowing into your arm.
Yep. Okay, I take my torch and I say, you gotta burn it off or you're dead.
Okay, James, or I tell Big Benny, get ready with your torch, okay?
I got it ready.
JR, hold out your hand.
I do.
Crowley, get ready with your knife.
All right, I'm ready.
I take a big drink of my rum and I spray it on his arm and then tell Benny to light it.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
We light up the bulge to kill that stupid worm.
As soon as it comes out, it'll just be a quick blast, but that maggot will surface, and then Crowley, you got to pick it off.
All right.
I'm very good at injuring and harming JR.
You are.
Shall I roll for Dragon's Breath, or am I just awesome?
You're just awesome. So the flaming rum. Oh God. So yeah, you spit all over his arm with the rum. They light it on fire. It catches. There's like a. It lingers for a second, and as the heat becomes intense, and what do you call it, JR? In your head, you hear, "Oh, don't move. I just stay perfectly still. I'm sure this will all work out for the best."
Do I need to roll a dexterity check or anything?
To what's that? To cut the maggot?
To knife
flick
it.
the magnet.
Nope. But you're gonna need an attack roll.
Okay.
So go ahead, and you need to hit an AC of 8.
I rolled an 18.
Natural
18.
More than make it. So you cut this thing, and like the head is still kind of embedded, so you have to dig the tip of your knife in to kind of like pry around and get it totally 100% out.
Yeah, I have no problems with that.
Great.
JR might, but
in JR's head, you hear, you really need to stay still, bro. And then you hear, let me help. And you see the cloak start constricting. it pins his free arm to his what do you call it? His chest. It wraps around the hand so that it holds the arm out, and you see even more of the cloak seem to come from nowhere and act as spines to pin him to the ground.
I can hear the cloak.
No, you
talking to
can't.
JR.
JR can hear it. He's the only one who can hear it.
But did I hear JR's thoughts?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, JR was just listening to his master.
I got you.
I didn't say anything.
You eventually dig it out. JR, you take 3 points of damage from the knife wound and the burn.
And you hope there's no eggs left behind.
Yes.
First off, that was a pretty great plan by me. And second off, rum for the win.
That's going to be my next T-shirt. Rum for the win. So yeah, you have the crossbow, and you also have a big scar. And in your head, JR, you hear, there, that was such a good boy. You were so brave.
It's grooming you, JR. It's grooming you.
Yeah.
I like the vote in chat that just went down, whether Benny is more evil than the four-armed undead monster, and Benny won.
I know the answer to that question.
Okay, so you're just taking the book and the crossbow. Are you going to rifle any more through this guard?
Okay, so we got a crossbow. There's a quiver of crossbow bolts somewhere on that body.
I have, let's see, what do I have to poke him with?
Wow. Wow.
You may not want to lead with that.
Is there anything?
It really does depend on what you have to poke him with.
Is there anything like wooden in the room still, like a chair? That we
You
can
never
grab?
know.
Is there any wood in the room?
There is now. All the wood from like the splintered door and the chair that at one point he was sitting on are just like masticated, just rotted away.
All right, I'm gonna use my short sword and just sort of flick the body over to keep him away.
Give me a saving throw.
All right,
You suckers.
natural 20.
All right, yeah, that works. You almost stepped on another one.
Oh, that would have been bad.
All right, so yeah,
Yes.
you don't really see too much other than what he had on him. There's a couple of coins that fall out of what could have been a belt pouch at one point that is rotted away, but the coins are covered in more of those grubs.
Do we want to, Captain? Do you want that gold bad enough? You're going to use your little alcohol and waste it on giving him a heat blow dryer?
Yeah, sure. Every penny helps.
All right, so you repeat the rum trick. Do you actually go like full on like luau and like spit it out of your mouth while it's on fire, or do you spit it and then light it on fire?
No, I do luau. I'm pretty impressed with this trick.
So yeah, you kind of immolate those grubs, and there are 4 coins on the ground. 2 of them have like 3 of them have a greenish sheen to them, probably silver that is tarnished over time. One of them is a lustrous gold coin that has the face, like a face imprinted on it. It doesn't look like it's been affected by weather, time, or rot, and you kind of recognize the face, Nick.
All right, I will pick it up and I will study the face.
He's got really great hair.
Is it me?
No.
Oh.
I'm thinking magical.
It's our deep state guy, right?
I'm telling him I think it's magical because it hasn't affected by weather and such.
It looks just like the deep state guy.
I will flip the coin.
It's got an engraved letter T on it.
All right.
How many quivers did we get? How many arrows for the bolt, or bolts, I guess, in the quiver? None.
Great.
Was it loaded with at least one?
Nope.
Okay.
Can we detect magic on this coin?
That would be JR. He would have to detect the magic.
I only have one until we get a rest period. I would say we wait and see at the end because we might find more.
Okay. You hold on to this coin, and I
All
flip
right.
it to him.
I catch it, put it in the pouch.
All right.
Not in the cloak, though, because that thing's evil.
Hey, he could probably hear those thoughts.
He can hear everything JR is thinking, apparently.
Hold on. While we're standing here, can I take the cloak off?
Yes.
I'm going to try to take the cloak off, just to look at it.
Okay, you take it off.
Okay.
Do you not want the cloak? I'll take it.
All right. I'm going to give the cloak to the captain.
Oh, no.
Wow.
Because it's evil. I'm telling you. I think this thing is evil.
You put it on, Nick?
I put it on.
You hear, well, traded like an old penny.
No, he's too stupid for you, buddy.
He says, that may be, but I think I liked his fit a little better.
Yeah, but he was most likely going to get you burned up or killed. I'm going to take care of you and give you the things that you want in this life.
How about we do a trial run?
Tell me what you want.
Ooh, you don't want that. And we don't know each other that well yet.
Sure.
He says, tell me what you want.
What can you do?
He says, let's see, I'm sensing. And then he goes, oh, yes, totally doable, dude. And it freaks you out that he starts using some of your vernacular.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, Black Tabitha. Oh, yeah, we can make that happen for you.
Oh, talk dirty to me, Mr. Cloak.
And he says, yeah, don't do that. He says, all right, trial run. Because you see, the other one between you and I, that's a car, and that freaks you out. He says, that's a car I can drive. You are more like a co-pilot, which I'm not opposed to. But I think for my long-term kind of goals and aspirations, you might be a little too much for me.
Nah, I'm fun.
Like I said, let's do a test drive.
Let's take the old Ferrari out for a spin. Know what I mean?
He says, I do. And he starts talking about racetracks.
Ooh, nice. I like racetracks. I like the ponies.
He said, no, like car racetracks.
Okay.
And then he starts talking about doing tailgate parties. And this is all going on in your head while everybody's kind of watching for a reaction. Okay. Do you do anything more than that?
Nope, I'm good. He said the magic 2 words, Black Tabitha. Sweet, sweet Black Tabitha.
He says, all right, let's get our kill on. So on both sides of the room, you have your entrance in that you came through, and then you have a broken entrance off to your left, and that one looks like it leads to the same place as this other exit right here. So where do you guys go?
Crowley, lead the way, buddy.
Giant skeletal beast, lead the way, buddy.
It says direction.
To the left through this corridor.
All right. So it walks out and stops.
Okay. Now, so I follow it, and I want to go into this room south.
All right. So go this way.
Yeah.
All right. It looks like it once held a large parapet where garrison troops could climb to the top and shoot down outside of the fort. There's a broken wall here. You have what looks like equipment rack and tables on both sides. Pinned to this table in the front, it looks like an old map, and you don't see much else.
Okay, I'm gonna use my perception, and then I want to take the map, but I just don't want to more grubs jumping out at me.
All right, so
Because ew.
you don't really see anything.
Okay.
So the map looks brittle, very old. You
Okay.
think that if you handle it too much, it's just going to come apart.
Can I delicately pick it up, or is it
Yes.
open? Is it open on the table?
Yeah, it's all the way open.
Okay. So what can I tell? What it's a map of?
It looks like it's written in the same style as that notebook, and it looks like a map of the island.
Okay.
There's like scrawl all over it. Some of the pieces of the map are missing, so it's hard to read. But there's a lot in here.
Okay. I'll take it, but I'll very delicately handle it and then put it in my pack.
All right. As you're, kind of like stuffing it into a notebook or something like that, or whatever, you hear almost like a whisper, and then you hear
like gun cocking sound.
No. Like somebody like chittering their teeth to get your attention, coming from this direction.
Okay. I turn toward it. Do I see anything?
It takes a second for your eyes to focus, but there's a distortion standing right in front of you that is maybe about man-sized.
Okay. Hey, how's it going? my standard opening.
You see hands appear.
Okay.
They're long, slender, wrapped with bracers, and then they turn in, and it looks like it cups something, and the air kind of shimmers, and the hood of a cloak comes off, and you see a man with like dark skin. There are white markings painted all over his face, and the center of his face is almost painted to look like a skull. There's a symbol, what looks like a star inside of like a goblet, and like radiating lines coming off the star, painted to his forehead. And he speaks a few words and then stops. But he's holding his hands outward as if to say, "I'm not a threat."
I really hope his teeth aren't tattooed like the last guy. Is he talking to me at all? Is he saying anything?
Yeah, he's speaking a language, but you don't understand it.
I don't understand. Okay.
And the translators you guys were using, your mobile devices, the only working devices left, Richardson has one, and Rock Powers has one.
Okay.
No, I have the one that works.
What's
I
that?
don't know what to make of this guy. He doesn't look threatening.
I had the one that works.
Oh, you had one of the ones that work too?
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, Richardson has one that works, and then you have one that works. And I believe the captain still had one because he didn't get dunked.
I'm a little scared of this guy, but I also have this giant undead bodyguard.
Like I said, the guy is standing there and he's trying not to be threatening, and he's not. He's talking to you, and it sounds like he's trying to communicate. He's used words with different sounds so far, but he's very much trying not to be threatening.
So I say, "Habla español,"
and then he cocks his head a little bit. He says, "Sí, en todo." He's like, "Yeah, absolutely." He's like, "Who are you?"
Who am I? I am Dan Crowley. Who are you?
He says, "It's nice to meet you, Dan Crowley. My name is Audino. Are you here by yourself and your friend?" He's like,
is the friend
the skeleton.
Okay, that's what I thought. No, I have backup. I mean, if things want to get, if you want to throw down, I got a lot of guys in back.
He says, "Throw what down?"
It's just an expression. Don't worry about it.
I am very much interested in your companion.
What would you like to know about him?
He says, "How is it that you command such a thing?"
That is a great question.
He says, "You do not know how the ruin affects you then."
What are you talking about?
He says, "What are you talking about?" He says, let me explain. He says, "My people, we venerate the dead. I am a captain of a group of reclaimers. We are here to see if any of our people are among the dead so that we may bring them back and bring them into our fold of experience so that my people may benefit from them. So that is what we are here doing." Why are you here?
It's absolutely not to loot and pillage this place.
He says,
Absolutely not.
He says, "Then you're not taking advantage of what this place is."
Okay, then it is to loot and pillage it.
He says, I am here with a small group of reclaimers. We will not interfere with you, and we will not seek to claim any treasure that you would like to claim. But I would very much like to know more about how you were doing that."
I would too. I was hoping you'd have answers for me, but I guess not.
Huh. He says, "May we meet the rest of your group?"
Yeah, but let me talk to them first, because our captain and our tiniest member, which is kind of not a euphemism, like to just attack on sight. So let me talk to them before they, try to push a sword through your skull.
I would very much like to not have that happen.
Okay. So I go back, tell Chaos Actual about these guys, and hey, they're friendlies. And then I would, tell Benny, but it's not going to matter. Like, he's just going to do whatever. So I kind of, they're.
I hope
they're good,
you win your little D&D game, honey.
There she is.
Thanks for that. All right. So what happens?
I tell the captain, and then.
Mm-hmm.
So
Can you
he's
ask
good with
him
it?
what he knows about this place and what we could find here?
Okay. Well, I'm the only one that can talk to them.
I think
Is
so.
that right? Okay.
No, he was speaking Spanish.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, I could talk to him. I could go up and talk to him.
Yeah, I think the captain should talk to him. But
Well, then
I'll make
should-
introductions. So.
Yeah, I'll go forward and talk.
So yeah, do you bring them into the fort with you?
Not Benny. I leave Benny back there. But yeah.
All right. So you guys are meeting just outside the fort wall.
Are we meeting? I thought we were meeting him in the back room.
All right. So you're gonna bring Audino to the back room then. So because he met you right around here.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Your friends are up in here, so you're gonna bring them back here.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring out to the fort where we met him.
All
I'm
right.
gonna bring the captain out there.
Gotcha.
I'm going to be in the wide corridor by the steps.
Gotcha. All right. So you get out there, and like I said, Nick, he's once he takes the cloak off, he's in what kind of looks like warrior's gear. He's wearing light armor, like traveling clothes. He's got a sword at his belt, but like I said, he's got these weird markings all over his face, and he seems very relaxed and very polite.
Very cool. I would like to also be relaxed and polite and offer him a suck of my rum.
He says, "That is very kind. I will decline, however."
All right, I'll squirt a little into my mouth just to show him that it's not poison, and also because I want to drink. Just say, it's a good pleasure to meet you. We are here exploring this place. Is there anything that you can tell us about it?
This was once a Govar outpost. the word you might know is gnome. In the
We have one of those in back.
then they should know exactly what this is.
Well, the ruin has revealed him to be a gnome. He's not an Indig.
I understand this.
Yeah.
We have seen people before. 20 years ago, members of the Before Time came through, and some of them changed.
Yes.
We have heard of these things.
Yes, we are members of the Before Time, as you can see plainly.
He like stretches out his arms and he bows his head, and he says, "It is my honor to meet you." Then he says,
I shall accept this. I shall accept this.
"We have never had such dealings directly. We are very interested in your friend here." And he points to Crowley and he says, "And his ability, because," and you hear him whisper. It's like hoarse. It almost sounds like wind trying to come through a small crack. And the skeleton moves at his command. He says, "This ability is more common to my people than it is open to everyone." And the fact that he's doing that is very interesting.
Yeah, every time we run into a dead guy, he seems to be talking to him. And I know that there's a word for that. It's necromancy. Is that what you do? Is that what he is?
He says, this is, have you met the short, angry, tattooed people that corrupt the dead?
We have met. We've encountered them on a certain level. Yes.
He says that is necromancy.
Oh, okay.
He says this is more spiritual.
More spiritual.
So
yes.
Not
your necromancy is better than their necromancy.
I would certainly hope so.
Look, but necromancy seems to be a harsh word.
But it's still necromancy. It's still truck with the dead. And believe me, as I drink more rum, I'm in no position to judge anybody about anything. I'm just looking how all of you can benefit the pursuit of me.
I understand.
Yes.
He says, let me.
So most of us are on board with my cult, except one guy. And then I look at the gnome in the back. Like he's coming around.
Look, it's not necromancy, okay? It's more like Dr. Doolittle of the undead.
He says, he says, so in our culture, we...
are you witches?
No.
Warlocks?
It looks like he's trying to find the right terms that might kind of work for you. And then he says, imagine, and he uses the word abuelo, your grandfather.
Right.
He's like, imagine if your grandfather lived on so that future generations could have his knowledge.
So kind of like a Dia de los Muertos thing, because I did that in Tijuana one time, just drinking and having fun. But they were all, like it was a party for the dead. Is that what you do?
Sort of, yes.
Okay, cool. So how can we make him better at what he does?
Could be like anything else. It could be practice. It could be he could study with us, but that means he wouldn't be working with you.
Ah, I see. Is there any kind of sort of like Zoom meeting he can attend?
I don't know what that is.
Okay. It was a thing from the before.
I see.
Yeah.
So he says, back in the sunken city, this gift of his would have been cultivated. But here, it could be an asset to you.
Okay.
Although you should be aware, just blatantly talking to something might not mean it will listen.
Okay. That's for you, Crowley. I don't care about your job.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I'd rather stay with the crew than this undead worshipping crazy dudes with,
Do you have any kind of manual or book or what you do for dummies kind of thing that we could buy off you?
Perhaps something that we could give him that would help, and then we could call on you for a favor in the future.
Oh, totally. We deliver on favors. We just wiped out a pirate ship, and it was a favor, mostly.
That's fantastic. He says,
Also fun.
so he like reaches over and he opens his hand. 30 to 40 more men like him uncloak and come from the forest around him. They're all carrying crossbows. One of the figures that he gestures to, he takes the bow part off of the crossbow and then slides the crossbow to his back. Kind of like it's like a two-piece contraption so they can have an arrow ready. He reaches under his cloak, and as he gets closer, you can tell this elf is not alive. It looks more mummified than anything else. Its eyes are all white pupils within white eyes, and it hands over a scroll case
to Crowley.
Yes.
Okay, cool. How will this help him?
It is like a beginner's manual, maybe.
Okay, perfect for what you do. All right, study that and get good at it.
Yes.
Can do. I'm glad they emphasized the for dummies part.
All right, so you take it. He says, we will be in the area.
Okay.
But if you're going to be in the fort, we will operate elsewhere.
Okay.
If you see anybody with this symbol, and then he points to his forehead with the goblet and the radiating lines and the star, he says, please do not injure them permanently. Even if it attacks you, even if you just save the head. Right. And Benny's just, in the back, like perking. So he says,
is he hopping on his little gnome feet? And he can't see anything because we're all normal human beings.
He says, but if you run into trouble, speak through the dead and we will hear it. And we'll do our best to get to you as quickly as possible.
Okay. We will do that. Do you know what are there levels in this fort below ground or above?
There is an underchamber. We've never been able to get into it.
All right. That's where we're headed. We're looking for some good loot.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to ask if the crossbow that we found on the dead guy resembles the ones they were carrying.
No. The crossbow that you picked up are kind of like old style. But very nicely made. The ones that they have, they look like very short horseman's bows that are like locked into a pintle at the end of this crossbow so that they can take it in and out. So
Sweet.
It looks like they when they're on patrol they're using the crossbows, but when it's like repeated archery, they ditch the mount and they just use it as a bow.
Okay. All right, then let's do it. Let's head deeper in. Let's go down the stairs. Let's go to the antechamber.
And speaking of antechamber, would you like to talk about the premier science fiction property that sponsors us, which would be Galaxy's Edge?
I would. This was a really big week for Galaxy's Edge. If you didn't know, we just launched the first book in the second season. It went to number 28 on all of Amazon and Audible. Everybody's buying it. Everybody loves it. They say it's the best book Galaxy's Edge has ever written. So I would really encourage you to go get that book if you're a GE person, catch up on all the books, or just jump in and start with Galaxy's Edge Legionnaire or Galaxy's Edge 1 on audio. You will have a great time. Go join the fan page on Facebook because those memes are lit AF. You will love them. It is a lot of fun. So we have a lot of fun at Galaxy's Edge. As you can see what we're doing here, we're having fun and we're trying to keep James M. Ward awake, but hey, buddy.
I'm here. I'm aware.
Okay. We just want to make sure we're not too boring for you. Do you need more death, more traps, more gay pineapples?
That's always the good stuff. What I need for is Crowley to get killed by a skeleton. That's what I need.
Not happening.
Why do you need that? Because you want to be right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
I want to say I told you so and really mean it.
You live for that, right?
Yes.
I live for proving him wrong just because our first meeting was him fragging me.
Okay.
Okay. I think we've got a good team here.
Yeah.
All right. We won't kill any of those dudes, and if we do, we'll save the head, and we will head back into the dungeon. Are those stairs going down or going up?
They're going up.
Okay. I'm worried about going up because things are kind of rotten around here. I'd rather find down. Does Erdino know where down is?
He says the stairs there are stone. They should be sturdy enough.
Okay, so we should explore up there.
And the up leads to down.
Ah, yes. I love it when up leads to down. All right. Crowley, go ahead and get us up so we can get down.
All right, I command my skeletal buddy, my friend, to go up the stairs.
Right. Do we want our known thief to check for traps on the stairs?
Yeah, he can do that. He can do that while the skeleton's going by.
Why the skeleton's going up? If there's a trap, it'll trip it.
But then we might waste our skeleton.
Oh, that would be so awful to waste an undead thing of total evil.
Well, then it might not get its chance to kill Crowley and prove you right.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm checking the stairs for horrendous traps.
As my Okie grandmother said, throw the hay down where the horses can get it.
Okay.
Our lone wolf and gnome is becoming more like the odd couple.
I was totally successful. If there's traps, I spotted them.
You don't detect any traps on the stairs.
Okay.
Neither does the skeleton.
Down and all around.
Yeah. He does not detect any traps.
When I check the traps, it's up, down, and all around.
And I don't like calling him skeleton. I'd like to call him Skeletor.
Trademark.
He's a people too.
You give him a more powerful name, he becomes more powerful.
Ooh, cool.
You obviously have not seen He-Man.
Let's call him Matt Damon then.
There we go.
All right, so you guys get to the stairs. The Master Sergeant checks the stairs. There's no traps. It leads to an entrance room. The entrance room is not too big, but it's got 4 like small daises, and there are what looks like a bowl with a crystalline cover on each dais. There's some runic writing at the end, right before a large door. The door is stone, and it looks just like maybe it might slide out of the way.
So let's play this game for a moment. Legendary game designer James M. Ward, you've designed a lot of stuff,
Yes.
right? And
yes.
you are particularly sadistic and vicious and mean and unfair and a cheater and all about 30 other words I could think of to describe your DM style.
Yes.
What would you have done here?
Well, there'd definitely be cobras in one of the jars and terrific poison gas in another one. Naturally, when you played with the jars, the door would open and a bunch of black puddings would come tumbling out to eat us all.
Okay. Well, those are things to be apprised of. And you've done that before in other modules, right?
Many times, yeah.
That's your shtick. Cobras, poison gas, black pudding.
And ants.
Well, and you get turned into ants by curses, yes.
Is there ever any treasure, or is it just constant abuse?
Oh, come on. You were in my dungeon. There's tons of treasure. I'm
There
the
is.
original Monty Hall. I like lots of treasure.
You
How
did.
many
I also have to say-
many talking swords has Walt given you so far?
Exactly. I was going to say fever is one of the greatest magic items I ever got.
There we go.
That was pretty cool, sir. Okay.
But
Well,
JR gave you a magic talking cloak.
yeah, Crowley, you've been given a master class in traps by the legendary game designer James M. Ward. And if someone ever wanted to hire James to just make a vicious dungeon full of traps for your game, he would absolutely oblige you, and he's great to work with. I've worked with him before. Crowley, you've been given the master class. Go solve that room.
Okay. I go in the room under this assumption that I can solve these traps, which I do not believe at all. But
all right. So where do you go? Do you walk up to the door? Do you handle any of the big bowls or anything like that?
Do you want to handle the
Door.
Just go to the door?
you
Yes.
don't want to look in these pots, in these 4 pots.
We got all the time in the world to do that, but the monster could come running out of the door.
So
Okay.
are you saying we should try to open the door first?
Yes.
Okay, I'll go with the door.
All right. You walk to the door. After a moment of just standing there.
Wait.
Yes.
Why isn't the skeleton opening the door?
You tell me. Do you want the
Why
skeleton to open the door?
Yes, of course.
Okay,
Right.
I command the skeleton to open the door.
There we go.
After a moment of the skeleton pushing on it, trying to slide it over, doing nothing, you hear a humming sound. It's very faint. It picks up a little bit, and then the bowls glow. Light passes out from under the crystalline top, and you see a man up here, and this almost resembles holography, almost like those old projectors we used to have as kids, but very advanced. And there's a gentleman in a a security uniform, very nondescript. He was probably a 3D generated type thing, and it says, "Please identify," and he says it in English.
Does he have a red shirt?
No.
Oh, bummer.
Does he say, "Help me, Obi-Wan, you're my only hope"?
No.
Can I interact with the hologram?
You can try. What do you do?
I'm a little nervous about it. So the pots are projecting this?
Yes.
Does the man have any symbols on him, forehead or otherwise?
No.
So he doesn't. Okay.
And he's wearing what looks like maybe from what you guys were wearing when you got here. He's wearing next generation military gear.
Oh, okay. We would like to enter the room behind you. Are you some sort of security device?
Please present ID for authentication.
I wave a cack.
So you go up and you bring the card?
Yeah.
Yeah, I show my military ID too.
It looks at your ID, Crowley, and then says invalid identification. Please present.
We've got the deep state ID that we took off that lady. Let's use that.
Yeah.
Well, that's what Wilbur's bringing up.
Yeah.
So he brings that up and he says ID authenticated. Please present biometric scan.
You can take care of this one, Booger.
No, I'll be happy to present the biometric scan.
Oh, yeah.
What do you do?
I stand in front of him and say, "Scan me."
You don't want to use one of the heads you've collected?
Well, those
No.
all exploded. He's got to start his collection again.
Yes, I do.
Oh, sad times.
It says invalid biosignature.
Nope, it's not.
He says you have 25 seconds to comply.
Okay, I love that. Go over to the 3 bowls and smash them away.
Okay, I'm leaving the room right now.
Go ahead, you brave fellow, you.
I'm leaving my skeleton in there.
Crowley, you're literally getting heckled by the legendary game designer James. How does that make you feel right now? Play-by-play commentary. How does it feel to be treated like James M. Ward's beta bitch? I just want to know.
Well, it's my first experience with it.
Don't take that. You know what Nick Cole's rule is? Don't take shit from anybody. Don't take that from him.
No, I'm gonna leave him to his own devices in this tiny room where he's
All right.
smashing pots.
Great.
All right, that's James M. Ward, 40 love in this first round of Celebrity Tennis.
There
I'm
we
leaving
go.
him with my with Skeletor though.
Matt Damon.
Okay.
The
Smash.
seconds begin ticking down. You're hitting this thing with everything you've got, and they're not
Everything I've got. Yeah.
breaking. And they're just not breaking.
Really?
After a moment, the kind of like that stone trick from before with the pit, part of the ceiling peels away. You see what looks like a security turret come out of the ceiling,
We don't like that.
and then you hear, "Chick."
Yeah. Okay. Climb the wall and destroy it.
Give me a climbing check.
Yes, sir. That should be no problem at all. I'm looking at my number.
But remember, he's a gnome, so he just has little teeny tiny legs.
So we're getting a midget authentication.
So it's like a 10-foot ceiling, but it's a mountain for him.
And I, in my drunken stupor, let me make a constitution check.
Yes. Okay.
I barely make it, so I just say, "What is that child doing climbing the wall?"
Yeah. I got an 81. I clamber right up.
That child sure can climb.
The midget authentication passed.
But then again, all children can climb.
All right,
Yeah.
so-
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got wiring. Looks like it's trying to like acquire you, but you're hanging on the ceiling next to it, so it can't get a bead on you.
I'm smart enough to know about wires and chopping and destroying.
You can see that it's out of ammunition.
Yeah, I was going to say, as a captain of a Spectre gunship, I would know that sound.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't care. I'm still wiring and destroying. And
All right, so you cut out the wires so that you can cease its function.
you bet.
All right,
Doesn't Kuchenmeyer, didn't before you became a druid man, didn't you do computers and stuff like that? Couldn't you, like, I don't know, like I saw an episode of 24 where they opened a socket and hacked in and
Try to
stuff
hack in.
like that. Could you do that through the turret and maybe turn off the security dude? Or
We could certainly try. Are there any exposed USB ports or otherwise?
or is that what you mean by opening a socket on 24?
Yeah.
You think you could wire in, but it's going to take some time.
Let's start.
We've got time.
We've
All
got
right.
time.
So
And we've got rum.
it takes about 30 minutes. Can you give me your jerry rig roll?
Is that going to be a D20 or?
It should be right on your character sheet.
Yeah. If it was a Jerry Ryan roll, it would have been a D38.
Oh yeah, at least a 38.
Dear Lord, there goes that family-friendly rating that we lost a long time ago.
Long time ago.
Where would it be on my sheet?
It's a
Hold
class
on.
abilities, but it doesn't say what dice.
Yeah, it doesn't tell me.
Hold on, I'm going. Big time fun radio here, boys. Let's see.
Well, we did our Jerry Ryan joke. Come on, man.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's
That's
only
the
so
best we've got.
Just need to rickroll somebody and we're good.
right?
Never gonna give you up.
All right. So give me an intelligence check.
Okay.
So your intelligence or less.
Well, I got a 1.
Oh, fantastic.
Ooh, wow.
You see the hologram disappear, and the door starts sliding open.
Excellent.
Hooray!
Well done,
I slipped
little
through it
friend.
really fast because I'm a pirate.
What is it?
I slipped through the crack in the door really fast because I'm a pirate.
All right. It is a pretty sizable, large round room. There what looked like 3 sarcophagi in the room,
Okay.
with 2 chests offset so one chest in between each of the sarcophagi.
Okay.
There are symbols carved into the top. One has an axe, one has a sword, one has a shield. The sarcophagi look like they're made of stone,
Okay.
but
I'm going to stand on the sarcophagi with the sword.
okay, nothing happens other than you feel taller.
Good. I just don't want the floor to collapse beneath me. And now, like a drunken gargoyle with a wineskin full of rum, I will summon the rest to begin work on the chest. Benny, do your magic. Your gnomish magic.
I vote for opening the sarcophagus first.
Why is that? Justify.
Okay, so if I was the owner of these chests,
Right.
I would have it so that I immediately woke up when one of the chests was open.
Okay.
It's possible that whatever's in those sarcophagus won't wake up when just the lid comes off.
Okay.
Sanokin, you doing anything?
You're muted, Boomer.
Yep, we're good at that. I'm just about hanging back, watching, make sure we don't have any unexpected guests coming up behind us.
Well done. Well done.
That's
Gotcha.
a good call. Rear security is a solid call.
Yes.
All right. So the thief and gnome and legendary game designer James M. Ward is advising us to slip the lids off the coffins and take a look inside before we do the chests.
Yes.
How does everybody feel about that?
I pull out my hammer and activate.
All right. His vote is yes.
JR, what do you feel?
I'm gonna take one of my, after I secure all the valuables I don't want destroyed, I am going to take one of the green tree vials I have left and see if I can't lift those.
Oh, you gonna drink that, you mean?
Yep.
Oh, wait, cool. Except doesn't it take a ton of work to get you untreed?
No,
it wears
no.
off on a clock.
It wears off.
Okay.
Nice try, James M. Ward.
That's a great idea. I love it.
All right,
So I
JR,
think
start popping sarcophagi.
Yes.
Wow, look at that. That's a nice little bit.
What?
That's awesome.
That is awesome.
I thought that was from drinking the potion. I was like, wait a minute, what's that?
I know.
So we want to
Wow.
thank Lord Gazumba for subscribing for 4 months on Tier 1. We really appreciate it, man. Thank you so much.
Would Lord Gasumba like to come and play one time?
Oh, I'll hit him up.
Please.
I can't see if he's.
We will let him play any of James M. Ward's most hated NPC classes from Dragon Magazine, including
a half-orc assassin.
the half-orc
boy.
assassin, the half-orc assassin anti-paladin, and him and James Ward can have their own separate adventure.
What a mind player.
He is
I'm-
a half-orc
I'm-
assassin, mind flayer, anti-paladin.
I'm so glad I got rid of those classes in Dragon Magazine. It was a proud moment in my TSR life.
But they gave us joy.
Yeah, great. Didn't give me joy. Gave me hundreds of letters from mothers who didn't understand why we were doing such characters.
He literally scoffed at Joy.
And well, I guess let's address that for a second. You guys had no ill intentions about doing those characters, right?
No, because Gary said you got to have evil to conquer.
Yeah.
And we wound up with, well, if you got evil, you got to have evil characters, which was
Right.
fine until everybody and their mother started writing us saying, why are you teaching my son how to do evil things?
And so what we're really discussing on the 2 days before Mother's Day is how much you hate mothers.
No, I adore mothers. It's just sometimes they aren't cautious enough.
Another subscriber.
Angry Spartan is gifting some tier subs too.
Nice.
Oh, thank you very much.
Very cool. And who is the archetype, like when you're designing the anti-paladin, like who would you like, where'd you guys get that idea from?
Oh, that's fine. Zeb Cook was our evil master. He designed the Lady of Pain. He designed all the nastiest stuff in the game.
Aha. Okay, I see. You heard it here at TSR. Zeb Cook was known as the Evil Master. Zeb,
right.
if you have any heartburn about that, come on the show.
yeah.
I welcome him. He's an excellent player.
Okay.
All right. So you take the Tree Titan potion.
I do, which means
All right.
I have one left after this.
Yep. So you grow to 9 feet tall. covered in vines and stuff like that. Of course, you rip completely out of all of your clothing.
Well, I took all that stuff off to prep for this, so I didn't.
He did say that. Yeah.
You got naked and afraid then.
Yes.
Well, I'm not afraid. I'm
Is
just
he
very
bigger
happy
than
to be
Matt
here.
Damon?
Is he what?
'Cause I'm
Is
Rick
he bigger
James,
than Matt
bitch.
Damon?
He is bigger than Matt Damon. Yes.
Oh,
So you open the first sarcophagus.
I do.
Which one?
Whichever one the captain points to first, because he pointed.
Okay, now here's the cool part, folks. If there's a vampire in there, we got a tree creature with wooden spikes for fingers.
Well,
He's
I guess I would say this: can Crowley reach out and touch the undead force and get any feels off these coffins?
Crowley ran away down the stairs.
Yeah,
Crowley,
I didn't run down the stair. Oh,
Crowley, could you be useful for once?
Yeah, really.
I hear the captain asking me to be useful, so I
mocking.
back up the stairs.
He's mocking.
Yeah.
You don't hear anything other than the whispers of Matt Damon,
Okay.
who is just standing.
know
Who is
that.
just standing in the center of the room, waiting for commands.
Nicole, whenever I try on new clothes or I'm trying to look, good for a 52-year-old man like myself, she always goes, "Oh, you look so handsome," and I always go, "Yeah, but I'll never be Matt Damon." Both laugh.
So we're not.
When the lid opens, I'm ready with holy water if it's necessary.
All right. So which one are you opening?
The one on my right. So the one if we're facing
the one with the axe.
Yes. Is the axe actually like pick upable, or is it just inscribed on it?
It's a carving.
Okay.
How much holy water does Benny have?
Benny has 4 vials all the time.
All the time, even after you throw them?
He just gets more because he's
Yeah,
holy.
of course. I just get more.
Yeah. It's like the Eddie Murphy song, "My Girl Wants to Party All the Time," but it's "My Benny has holy water all the time."
There we go. I couldn't have said that better, Captain.
All right. So you pull that lid off, not completely. You just slide it over, and it's a man in armor, but very short. It's a Benny-sized man.
Oh, it's a little kid.
Yeah, it's gnomish in size. It's wearing very finely crafted what looks like scales under a tabard and a series of symbols and stuff like that.
All right. Can I read the symbols?
No, you can't.
All right. I step aside and let them examine it before we decide how we're going to loot this corpse.
Okay, so I perform the ancient gnomish rite of Don 4 and take off his head.
He's already long dead. Jesus.
Well,
That honors him in the heavens above and makes him a great hero. Don
So it's
4.
like the prima noctra for the undead.
Exactly. Couldn't have said that better myself.
No, damn it, JR. Now that's on video forever, you jerk. All right, so all right. So you separate the head, nothing else happens.
Yeah,
All right,
good.
so I lift the body and set it for them to loot the clothes because our little childish friend is going to need some armor.
No, I don't.
I don't hear the gnome skeleton yelling
No.
in agony.
No,
Okay.
no, of course not. He's honorable dead. Don't you guys know anything?
And then I'll move-
I
Does
got
he
my
have any-
Good for Dummies book.
Does he have any magic rings or anything on his fingers?
No, but there was an axe inside the crypt with him.
Okay.
It's not magical, but it does look well made.
Okay.
I'm telling them that we should grab everything. This is valuable. We need money
Okay. Let's take that axe.
and all the clothes.
When you finally get it out, it looks like a combination. It looks like somebody stuck like a very small bardiche head, like a really wide axe blade, onto a musket.
Nice.
So it's
Nice.
it's like a combination of a hatchet and a musket.
Powder horn or bullets?
Yes, on him.
Oh yeah, baby.
Would you like that, Benny, since it's a little child's weapon for you?
I believe my rifle is twice as good as that silly thing.
Yeah, but I think you're having problems hefting your rifle, aren't you?
Not at all.
This
How do you-
does look like a Mandalorian gnomish weapon.
A Mandalorian gnomish weapon.
Yeah.
All right, so we take all the stuff off that dead body, and I'll move to the one in the middle and lift that sarcophagus.
Okay. It's got a shield, and as you pull it away, this one looks, because of some of the raiment and like wisps of very long hair coming out, might have been female. And she's got a like a gnomish sized shield laying across her chest.
I look
cool.
over at Benny and I say, "No, just no."
No,
And then
no,
I look back and
I
we're-
have to. I'm duty bound. Has gnomish nobility to perform the rite of Pon 4 on her body, and
I
I
thought it
take
was
her.
Don 4.
No, it's Pon 4.
Oh,
I'll take her head.
Do you take it with you, or you just take it off?
No, I take it away from the coffin. I put it on the stairs.
Okay, so we can bowl with it later. All right, so we'll
Yeah.
take her out of the sarcophagus, and we'll take her armor too.
All right. So once you take her out, you notice like a small rounded protrusion coming out of the stone, but it's a different color. It's black. It almost feels metallic.
So I'll point that out to the captain, since I'm not sure how dexterous would I be as a tree.
Not very.
All right, so I'm going to step aside and point that out to Captain Rock Powers, Chaos Actual, and let him make a decision.
Well, I'm still perched like a drunken gargoyle, so I ask the gnome to go ahead and investigate that protrusion that you've discovered.
Yeah, okay. This is okay. I don't have a great chance to find traps, but I'll
you've
be
got
happy.
a chance. But you've
I'll
got
have-
a chance.
I do have a chance. I'll check. Okay, so I rolled a 93. I'm absolutely positive there's no trap, but I didn't detect if there was traps or not.
So you get more of the feeling like this kind of reminds you of like a Google Pay station at a gas station that you just kind of swipe your card across.
Ah. Let's go ahead and open the third coffin first.
Good idea.
right.
Once again, another gnome in that very similar armor. This one has a sword across its chest.
All right.
Inlaid into the sword, kind of on the side of one side, is a pistol. So it looks like a sword blade with a pistol mounted into it.
Even better. So naturally, I bless myself and perform the act of Pon 4 on the third one and remove his head and put it by the stairs.
Okay.
All right. And it doesn't appear that he has anything else other than his armor and the sword.
All right.
The
Is J.R.
captain-
looting all these?
Can I lift the sarcophagus up to see if there's anything underneath them?
You can lift the lid, but it's like at the kind of like the edge of your strength. The rest of it, and I apologize, somebody's doing yard work outside.
Uh-huh.
But the what do you call it? The sarcophagus itself is probably outside of what you could lift.
Well, the captain would like to tap the bottom of the sarcophagus, where the bodies were laying, and see if he can detect a false bottom.
The one with the axe had a false bottom.
Nice. Well done, Captain.
Why, thank you. Would you detect traps on that?
I can try. I don't know if I will, though.
You can
Stealthy,
do it. I
stealthy.
believe in your tiny little fingers. Your
Yeah, okay.
cabbage
As
smelling.
a matter of fact, if there's a trap there, I detected it.
So it is trapped. You detect small holes around the circumference of the inside of the lid, or like the inside of the coffin, rather.
Yeah, sure.
Gas.
So is that gas or darts?
You can't tell.
You can plug it up.
Yeah,
you can try and disarm it.
That's not going to work.
Do you want Matt Damon to just sit off the trap?
Can we see
gas
can
or
we
darts don't.
Well, gas would be a real problem.
Yes, it would.
I mean, if you guys are in the room.
Well, we want to be in the room.
Okay.
So we've got holes in the bottom of the lid, almost like little air conditioning vents on the bottom, or like more.
They're about that. Not that big.
Yeah.
Maybe no bigger than a dime in width.
I'm guessing there's gas in there. So what
So-
I would
so-
say,
Okay, go ahead, Captain.
what I would say we could do is we could set off the trap, but we could put a torch in there, and the torch would burn off the gas.
Yeah, not a chance in the world.
All right. What would you suggest?
I just put the lid back on and use some wax and seal it, and then play with the chess.
But don't we want to find out what's in the false bottom?
Well, I don't think it's worth it.
I have an idea. Is there any natural water source that's within easy range of us? Fill the coffin with water and then set it off. If it's gas, the water will absorb it. We'll be fine.
That is a great idea.
That is
Wow.
a wondrous idea.
Why
Yeah.
wouldn't the gas just bubble through the water and suffocate us?
Okay, science.
Because
You always rain on our parade. Jeez.
So what would you do?
I mean, I like
I
the
just-
idea of possibly trying to burn it, but yeah, it's a gamble either way because we wouldn't want to be in the room when it happens. So
I'm going to go with the torch. I'm going to go with the burn because I think really using science, which you're good at, gas should burn, correct?
depends on what kind of gas it is, but
Yeah.
Yeah, really.
Does
Chlorine gas doesn't burn.
Does
Sulfur
chlorine-
gas doesn't burn. There's a lot of gases that don't burn that are really bad for us.
and water would stop some of those too. It's just depending on what it is, and we just don't know that.
Yeah.
We could put an inch of water in there just from our water skins alone.
Let's do
And
that.
And then we could put the torch over the water.
Don't we have a whole barrel of rum?
No. Silly.
Yes. Yes.
No. Okay. So there's the false bottom and what we've been able to determine of it. Can we see the seams of it?
Oh yeah,
Okay. So it probably slides or it peels open.
it slides.
It slides. And if you slide it, then something inside there activates. And then gas comes pouring out because it wouldn't be darts, but it could be darts because your hand could be on the bottom and then the darts would come from every direction into your hand.
It could be spears from the ceiling. It could be fireballs.
but there's
magically.
holes. No, but there's holes. You've discovered holes on the bottom of the lid.
And we looked
Okay.
up, down, and all around and didn't see anything in the ceiling.
Yeah.
now we could go ahead and just smash the center of the false bottom and not slide anything around and see if we can just avoid the
Some of us are brave. Come on.
So does our combat knife have the serrated edge on the backside that would
Yes.
act like a saw?
Yep.
What is the
course.
bottom of this made out of?
Stone.
Oh.
Okay, so that's not going to work.
Maybe. Does anybody
We've got
have
the Hebrew hammer.
I've got a
does
hammer.
does anybody have does anybody have a spike on their character sheet?
Of
Richardson.
course.
Okay. So give me the spike. Give me the Hebrew hammer. And then I'll just drive a spike down in there and shatter it rather than sliding it open.
Yeah, that could easily activate the jar of gas.
Well, it sounds like we're heading towards that pathway anyway.
Yeah, okay. I'm going over to chest number 1 and checking for traps.
Go ahead.
If there's a trap there, I found it.
The chest isn't trapped, but it's locked.
Yeah, okay, that's no problem for a thief. I have to look up my unlock. Okay, look, I have a great unlock.
But can you actually reach the lock?
Ow! That hurt! I unlock it.
All right. Do you open it up?
Yeah, of course.
There's tons of black ants in there. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. So it looks like several boxes, like small boxes, about what you might find, like a set of like military style lenses in there.
Ooh.
And so they're only about like that long and about that wide. And there's 12 boxes inside the chest.
Well, they have to all be taken out and put aside without opening them. And I checked the bottom of the chest for vast treasures.
There's no false bottoms in the bottom of the chest.
And what about the false lid?
No false lid.
What about the false box sides?
Nope.
Okay.
All right. I think I figured out how to unlock the chest. The false bottom.
Do you see the comment from Lord Dalius, Walt?
Which one about that they're all points?
No, he said these are all gas. Those aren't gas holes. Those are breathing holes, so the vampire doesn't suffocate over the centuries.
That's awesome.
I'm gonna ask the cloak if he'll do his rigid form thing, and place him inside the chest and line the holes, and then block the holes while I push open the panel.
He says, "Well, I tell you what. How about this? Seeing as you guys are standing here in the light of your bravery, trying to determine how to slide open a slot, why don't you just do it? And maybe I'll give you a freebie. I'll protect you."
Oh, cool.
I'll do it.
That's cool. Now we're talking.
Now we're all getting out of the room except for the captain.
I didn't say anything.
Oh,
no,
okay, that's true.
I'll say, stand back. I have this, peasants.
All right.
So you send everybody out of the room?
Yeah.
All right. Dear God, JR.
JR, what are you doing?
He's wrestling with something. Everybody leaves, and he says, "All right." The cloak has a one-on-one moment with you. He goes, "Okay, now that it's just us, we're going to do something, and we're not going to talk about it." Right?
Yes.
All right. I love it when they're eager. He says, "Hold on. This is where it gets weird." You feel the cloak wrap around you. Your vision becomes hazy, and you don't get the sense that you're in control anymore.
Uh-huh.
You look down, and your hands are no longer yours. They're giant gauntleted talons. You look at the other one, and it's the same thing. The hand balls into a fist and smashes the bottom of the false bottom.
Ooh.
And you take a step back, and there's a sensation where your vision becomes normal again, and you hear, "Ooh, that was fun. I haven't been. Ooh, that was." Okay, I'm going to need a minute alone. You go play with your whatever that is.
The cloak takes a smoke break.
Listen, I'm Venom now. I understand.
And he says,
and I'm cool with that.
He says, just as long as we know who's in charge.
Oh,
driving like he's stolen.
You're in charge, Venom. Well, I get it, man. We are gonna have some good times. Believe me, I'm very much a low impact, low work. I'm all about the show, not so much about the work.
So you reach into the false bottom, and it's a small case.
Sweet. I'm just gonna actually have an act of bravery, really selfishness masked as bravery, and pop open that case and take a look.
It's got a top that pops open, and then when you slide out a small tray, it's got 4 what look like diamonds in the shape of almost like a D20. It's about that size. It's not a D20, but it's got cut similar. Okay. So they're about that size.
Okay, I will add those D20 diamonds into my bag of diamonds, my bag of dice. And then I'll turn around to say to everybody, I'll go like, "Hey, look, a magic case."
Yeah, great. I'll go to the second chest and play with it.
It is not trapped, but it is locked.
Well, that shouldn't be a problem. I don't open that one. Can we break it open?
You can try.
I pick Bunny up and hold him to the lock.
No, you don't. Who's the guy with the hammer? Let's see him smash the lock.
I can try to do that.
You activate the hammer and smash it?
Sure, why not?
Yeah, you actually smash the lid apart because the lock is internal. When you break it open, it looks like more of those like black cases, but these ones have markings on them. The first marking says 2.5 and then the letter M with a dollar sign on it. The next one is several hundred million with the yen symbol. And like this happens throughout the case, throughout the cases. And there are roughly 4 large cases, and they break open almost like a decorative wine cask, and they have small bars of gold in them.
Ooh, nice. Gotta love that.
How much value of gold is that for us?
It's hard to tell. In total, there are 20 bars of gold.
Okay.
I'm rich. I mean, we're rich.
All right, I'm writing it down.
We're going to kind of have to divide them all up.
I've been tracking the party loot on a document. I sent it to Walt, so we'll be able to do better.
Yeah.
We got used to Andrew doing everything for us.
If not, nothing for you. You're still in the hole from the last time you died.
And let's open those 12 boxes on the other side of the room.
They actually have what looks like shooting glasses, like amber shooting glasses that you might wear at the range.
Oh,
nice. And there's 12 of them?
Wonder if they'll let us see the ghosts.
I hand them out.
Do you turn them on? Do you put one of them on?
Yeah, I got to.
I immediately put one on because I just think they're cool.
You're muted, Boomer.
Thank you. When you put them on, I'm trying to avoid whoever's doing yard work.
We can't hear it. It's good.
We can't hear it. It's fine, buddy.
So when you put them on, the first thing that happens is Crowley like steps back and starts whirling around, trying to figure out where he should stand. You guys kind of get a sense of it when you put on the glasses yourselves. Over the sarcophagus where the shield is, you can see the gnomish woman. She's got the shield up. It looks like there's an energy field around her, and she's like casting lightning, but everything's in super slow motion, almost like a holographic animated GIF. Right? So she's like pushing her hand out. The lightning is starting to streak out. It's in super slow motion. And right where Crowley is standing, he steps backwards out of the way, and you can see like a horde of skeletons with maces rushing her. Over with the one with the axe, there's the little gnome warrior is like driving the blade into what would be the clavicle of another skeleton, and in super slow motion pulls the trigger, and there's an explosion blowing the skeleton out of the back of itself. Same thing with the sword. The guy is fighting more skeletons, and the right as like they're about to get overwhelmed, you see like a shadow start to enter the room, like somebody's walking in, and then the whole scene resets and starts again.
Fun.
Okay. So now we know the story of the 3 little gnomish people that we just looted. I mean, borrowed their stuff because they don't need it anymore.
Okay. Interesting. Do you want to swipe that card over the Google nub and see if it opens up something?
Sure, why not? Let's do that.
All right, so you swipe that, and this center mural where you guys are, all of these pieces start shifting into themselves until the floor moves away, and you see a stone staircase going down.
Hooray!
Going up to go down.
As you guys are doing that, Richardson, you're on the back stairs kind of keeping an eye out for everybody. You're with Dagger number 5, who is really pissed off that he's almost out of smokes.
We get some menthols for the man.
You start hearing footsteps coming up the hall.
All right. Um, I'm gonna I'll let Rick James know that I'm starting to hear things coming our way.
All right. I will pass the word around and come join him in case.
Hey, before Rick James leaves, can I? You're carrying like 20 weapons, buddy. Can we unload some of that and just dump a pile of weapons onto the 2 lower arms of Matt Damon, and he'll just carry them around for us?
What weapons do you mean I'm carrying?
Just the non-magical ones, like the ones you don't want to give up, but like, because you have a magic. Just from this alone, you have like 4 weapons. You have the crossbow. You have a magical axe. You have another axe.
I assumed all that was being split among the party as loot. I'm just tracking it. So yeah, we can give those.
Yeah, let's just pile them on Matt Damon. And
the crossbow doesn't have any bolts for it, though.
Yeah. I feel like you're very encumbered, and I want you to be able to have combat. So like, and we got this skeleton with 4 arms. Let him carry some stuff.
Well, we've got the shield we can give him from the gnome, which probably looks like a cup. I don't know, to a normal. But
and I thought the skeleton already had 4 swords on him.
Yeah, he does.
But yeah, I just assumed the party was splitting this all up.
Yeah.
He'll just carry it with his 4 arms like wrapped around all the weapons now.
We could always send him down ahead to have some fun killing whoever's coming up. Well, it could be the good guys.
Giving the skeleton major weapons doesn't sound like a good idea to me.
Matt
really?
Damon has been nothing but good to us. I really don't like how you talk about him.
I look over at Matt Damon and I'm like, Matt, it's okay. We like you. He's just a little cranky because he's so small. Gravity hurts him.
Heavy sigh.
All right. So we've loaded up the weapons. Our extra weapons on this undead skeleton, to the dismay of Benny.
Matt Damon.
Yeah, Matt Damon.
All right, so down this hallway, right past and in through this opening, you can see what looks like a tidal wave of skeletons pouring into the space. The 4 that are leading them have these like heavy maces and shields, and they're all wearing similar armor to the 3 that were in the sarcophagi. The crazy part is they're all gnomish sized.
Have I completely changed to elf yet?
No.
So do I have their bonus to hit versus undead yet?
Not yet.
Okay.
Out of this group coming in, do any of them have the markings that we were told to keep a lookout for?
No, they're all carrying. They're all like engraved armor and stuff like that. But they all are wearing that like that scale type armor, except for it's not as well made as the ones that were just decapitated in the room you're in.
Now with the demo bricks I have, am I able to set them up and be able to toss them, or
kind of like a good idea?
Like an old school satchel charge?
Yeah, you could create a satchel and toss it with with either a twist fuse, or if you wanted to rig up a quick blast trigger, you could do that too.
Yeah,
Nice.
I want to do something with a couple second delay, so it can make the distance without exploding right in my face.
So is my protection from evil something that it's on myself, or can I apply it to the party?
That spell?
Yeah.
I believe that one's to yourself.
Because that's not in the white box book, so I've got to look that up.
I have it right here. So it's within 10 feet of you.
All right,
That's
so I'm going to
great.
stand at the front, and I'm going to cast the protection from evil spell, and I'm going to tell them what I'm doing, and then I'm going to suggest they grab arrows and douse the tips of the arrows in holy water.
Dagger number 5 says, "Screw that noise," and he opens up on this lead skeleton. It takes quite a few shots in order to drop it. but it eventually goes down. The other ones start forming a phalanx where they lock their shields and they have their maces resting on their shoulders, and you start seeing the rest of them kind of pivot around until finally you get spears that form on the into the cracks of the shields.
That's delightful.
Am I normal size or am I still tree size?
You're still tree sized.
I'm going to charge into them, and I'm going to tell them to hold what they got.
Now you just heard that somebody is going to be rigging a high yield explosive, right?
And you know that Benny has 2 grenades left.
Okay, but grenades are powerful, and I've already used this potion. But if we've got the explosive, let's do this thing.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Mr. Richardson.
All right, let's go ahead and toss towards the center of that mass.
All right, give me an attack roll. You want to get at least a 12.
While he's rolling, I'm giving him the last green tree potion so he can join me to fight these off when they get close.
Really?
I got exactly a 12.
Awesome. Give me damage for that, please.
They're angry midgets. Kill them. The chat's having fun with Sanokin.
That would be an 18.
All right. So he rigs this thing, throws it over, throws it, kind of slings it underhand. It lands in the center of them. You see one of them pick it up and kind of like look at it as if to say, "What the hell is this?" When it goes off, Richardson, you and dagger number 5 just need to make a saving throw to keep to your feet because you are in an enclosed space, and there is going to be some overpressure. Dagger number 5 makes it. Did you make it?
Yeah, I got a 10.
There's this massive, like, whoa, whoom! Parts of skeletons and armor and weapons fly in all directions. There's a tremendous, huge blast of blackened earth and shattered stone. These things crumble all over the place. You hear like a screech, almost like a banshee wail outside. Crowley, you in your ears, you hear, "Damn it! Surge forward!" But all everybody else can hear is like almost like a roaring with like a high pitched wail in the middle of it. And then another wave of those skeletons falls into the gap. What do you guys do?
Richardson, did you take the green tree vial and drink it?
Thou art muted, Boomer.
No, I did not.
Take it, and we shall be able to create a wall they cannot penetrate.
157. I'm clipping that. Thou art muted, Boomer. Nice. All right. So they're kind of rushing towards you. So it's going to be a minute before they fill back up and kind of create that wave like they did the last time. So you can either advance into them so that you can get to the other access points to leave, or you can go down the stairs.
I have to go down the stairs.
I declare the position untenable and request that we retreat, and then I run down the stairs.
Does Benny have to climb down the stairs one at a time?
No, not those stairs. The stairs inside the chamber that go down into the new part of the dungeon.
The question still remains.
Yeah. Does he have to scoot down the stairs and then turn around and his little legs dangle and then he lands on the next step?
That's how I picture it.
It's so cute.
He's doing that thing where he like puts his butt down and then hops down to the step.
Yeah.
And butt down, hops to the step. All right, so you guys take off down the down into those stairs.
He may need a rappelling rope, but yeah.
All right. What do you call it? You guys start rushing all the way down. It's a spiral, so it's and it's not very deep. It's only like 2 twists before you're down at the bottom, and you're into a landing port. You see those like bowls that you had, those crystalline covered bowls.
Again?
There are 4 in the ceiling, all the way around. They render another light hologram, and one of them approaches you, Booger, and says, "We declare that the above position is unattainable. We would like to seal off the passage."
Let's delay that for now.
He says, "I cannot advise any weapons, any security measures, active security measures to assist you. All weapons are dry."
Thank you for that information.
And then he gone.
All right.
All right, so you're leaving the door open?
Well, we don't know if there's an exit from this place, so yeah, if the door closes, are we going to be able to get back out?
I would have closed that door.
Well, we gotta wait till
I kind of don't
everybody
even know, like,
here.
I mean, is this an example of like smart stupid, where smart people, like which you are, an incredibly smart people, you have an entire skeletal army chasing you, and you're like, nah, just leave the door open. Like, what's going on here, Mr. High IQ?
Well, we can trap ourselves. That's fine.
Okay.
Let's close the door.
We call you all down into our room.
I command Matt Damon to follow us.
Have Matt Damon close the door behind him.
Matt Damon actually stops and will not go down the stairs.
What?
Matt Damon.
Take all of his loot back, because if he's staying here, he's not staying with our gear.
Yeah.
And we take his swords too.
What's the problem, buddy? Why don't you come join us?
It says not permitted.
So we leave him with 2 swords and send him into the undead horde and let him just.
So you're actually looting 2 swords off of him.
Why not? I mean, we need money. The captain says we need a bigger ship, and he's got some goblin chick he wants to romance. So
No, she's not a goblin. She's dating a goblin.
Pretty much the exact Nick Nicole scene.
I'm not touching that one.
What?
What?
All right, so what do you guys do?
Do we want to?
I would get that hologram to reappear and close that door. That's what I'd do.
I cry. It's like a scene out of White Fang, where like I have to leave him behind. It's like,
is there a way to close the door at this point?
Of course there is.
Yeah, it looks like there's another protrusion where you could swipe the card.
Let's do it again and see what happens.
Everybody's in, right?
Yes.
Except
for
for Matt Damon.
Damon, but we took 2 of his swords because
We
You
don't
took 2
care.
of his swords.
Do you command him to fight the other skeletons?
No.
Yeah.
No.
No!
No.
What are you doing?
He's gonna blend in. I want Matt Damon to survive.
He's already dead.
But I mean, like, in
All
one
right.
piece.
So
Are you sure you want him to remain a sergeant, Captain?
No, you're the new master surgeon, aren't you?
No, but you're still a sergeant.
Am I? I
I'm
don't know
gonna
how that
order
happened.
Crowley to order the skeleton to fight.
No, I'm not. I'm not ordering him to fight. Matt Damon was good to us. He can't take on an entire skeletal army by himself.
Yeah, okay, all right. So
you don't let him try.
we're down in the room, and using my best ventriloquist voice, I sound just like Crowley and say, "Fight those buggers until they're all gone," and the door slams shut.
Somehow I know it won't
because you're a gnome, it sounds like this.
Fight those buggers.
And
Oh,
you don't sound-
thank you very much.
And someone mentioned something about the Lilliput Guild, and yeah, we're all good.
all right, so the hologram comes in. You guys command it to. You guys swipe the card.
Yeah.
The stairs rearrange and then seal off. There's tons of scratching and like slamming as armor gets to the hole just in time, and then several of the skeletal limbs get sheared off from the door closing and just kind of tumble down the stairs.
That seems fair.
See, I would say to you, Rothman, like, it doesn't matter what the end result is if you don't live to see it.
True.
So
I'd rather be trapped down here alive than butchered by skeletons.
Yeah, but do we know? Do we know how many skeletons were even left though? Yeah, after the explosion.
Yeah,
It's in the
111.
I did leave Matt Damon with the command to do this thing where, like, when they all show up at the door and it's closed, and they're like, "Where'd they go?" He just kind of goes, "Do that thing." That's it.
He's got the 4 arms, so they're like,
yeah.
So once the door is sealed, the opposite wall has another door that slides open.
See,
Wonderful.
See, all hail the captain again.
Gotta love that.
All right. So you guys roll into a very long chamber.
Roll into a chamber. That's funny, Walt.
Right. There are giant statues that resemble gnomes with
they're not that big.
Their arms outstretched, holding what look like ever-burning torches.
Nice.
The room looks like it was once very lavish, but over time has dilapidated just a little bit. On the sides of the room, aside from like random assorted military junk, there are large pods with like a translucent bluish fluid. The pods are almost like 7.5, 8 feet tall, and they have all this like bluish fluid on the inside of them.
Is that the same bluish fluid that was in the pipe mask that they gave me?
No, doesn't appear to be.
All right. And what about that cute little dais with the octopus on top of it?
That seems to be a command console.
Well, let's go up and make some commands.
As you approach it, a hologram of he's got the features like you do, Benny. He's got like the cat-like elongated face, the flat nose, and the weird eyes, pointed ears, but he's tall, almost man-sized. The hologram says, "Please state command."
Activate defenses.
All defenses are depleted due to repeated use.
Yeah,
Please,
great.
please advise.
Can they be supplied?
Don't eat the yellow snow.
That's a good question. Where's the exit from here?
There are alternative exits at the end of this platform.
Are there resupply points that we could reload the defensive weapons?
Please see all forge technicians for resupply of weapons.
Is the forge here?
There is not. Forge was moved according to or directive, and then he gives a long number, and he says and then he gives a date. The date is approximately 300 years after you guys left.
Does he know where it was moved to?
Insufficient data.
Okay. Can we look at the weapons ourselves and determine what they're firing?
All weapons internal to facility defense are chambered to 7.62 millimeter. All weapons exterior to base defense are chambered to 50 caliber.
12.7.
Great. What about resources here in the chamber? Have we got any hidden or useful resources?
There is storage available that has the ability to withstand a group of your size for approximately 3 months.
Open it up.
So that's just foodstuffs.
So yeah, the floor right where you're standing, Benny, starts that thing where it's like segmented pieces are moving all around, and a crate rises up from the floor, opens up, and it's cases of MREs and fresh water.
I love that.
I mean, if we can get it out of here, this will have some value.
I assume the MREs are expired.
No, those things last forever.
But you really got to need the peanut butter.
The Tabasco bottles don't expire.
I would like to ask this voice to tell me about the facility's history.
Facility was constructed, and then it gives that same date about 300 years after you guys. Facility initial closed, and then it gives another date, approximately. I apologize, they're doing that thing right underneath the window. So they give them another date so that the facility sounded like it operated for about 25 years, and then went offline. It was reconstituted 20 years ago.
Cool.
By who?
Yeah, really good question, Captain.
The Govar people. So he goes on to give like a short summation of a history that the Govar people came to this place, led by a great hero. From the sound of what he's talking about, this great hero was one of the Rangers from the Broken Teeth that transformed kind of like Benny did. When he united with more of the gnomes, they found this facility, took over, and used it as kind of like a staging base for Ranger operations in the area.
Is there a forge located in this facility?
No, it's been moved.
To where?
He doesn't know.
Okay.
But they shortly after grabbing this place, they found on the other side of the island there was a major battle that had occurred, and there was tons of undead. So they started doing experiments here to try and control undead, and started doing experiments with all sorts of gnomish magic in hopes that they could replicate certain effects that would be beneficial to Ranger operations there.
Aha.
Nice.
Is there any treasure here?
The hologram kind of looks a little like a little strange, like trying to figure out what you mean. And then he says, please specify.
Gold, magic items, whiskey, super duper whiskey.
He says, gold upstairs in the chests. There is food and water here. It regularly gets refreshed and replenished. We have a recycling system that reconstitutes the food stores every 2 years. And then he says, and we have this. And then further down the room, there's the more of the floor parts open, and what rises out looks like a folded up Osprey airship.
Nice.
I
can fly that.
Can they reconstitute bullets?
No, they can't. They need the forge for that.
Bummer. Is there a way to locate the forge?
He says that he doesn't have the ability.
Is there a way to get the Osprey out of this room?
Yes.
Which direction?
So he points to the far end, and there's a large open area. He tells you that this area right down here is an elevator that will take you to the top on the other side of the island.
Ooh.
Can we get the helicopter up and running?
He tells you that it's out of fuel, but the electrical systems are kept fresh from the facility. So it has power, it just doesn't have fuel to fly. So you'd need to acquire a fuel source.
And where is that?
Whiskey.
He says he's not aware of any fuel sources within 50 miles of the area of the facility.
What about napalm? Would that work as a fuel source?
No, that would be dangerous. You can't run an Osprey on napalm.
But if we can get it down onto the lift, we can get it up to the top, and then we can activate the avionics and communications gear.
And guns.
That is correct.
Yeah.
No, they don't have any ammunition for it.
And it probably would go through all of our ammunition in like 5 seconds. Okay.
So let's try to do that, because then we could at least communicate with the Rangers and tell them it's here.
And you guys know that they've spent the last 20 years putting up base stations so that communications can reach back and forth to them.
Yeah. So we could do that. Let's do that.
Well, let's load up on water at the very least if we don't trust the food.
I trust the food. We'll take all the food we can get.
We have water.
Okay. All right.
We have whiskey.
It says, so do you need super whiskey?
Yes.
He says, stand by. He's like, we will fabricate. It could take potentially an hour.
Oh my God.
I'm here. I'm here.
All right. So while this is going on and he's doing his thing, do you start with the like avionics starting to get everything together?
We'll start the auxiliary power unit to get power to the systems. And then, I would assume the chamber needs to be open for the radios to work. But if he'll open the chamber door, we can start trying to communicate with the radio.
He says that he can open like the overhead door to allow a signal in and out.
Yeah.
And that way you guys wouldn't have to raise the platform, thus giving anything outside access to what you guys got going on.
Sweet.
All right. So it takes about an hour to rig everything up. Try to get you have to move it. You can't just what do you call it? Luckily, Lieutenant Rick James bitch is still high on tree potion and can easily move it into the open spot. You fire up the radio.
Yep.
All right. After a few tries, you hear state call sign over.
This is call sign, and I'll use our what Pelican 2.6 heavy, wasn't that us?
Yeah, Pelican 6.4.
Yeah, heavy. Brain cells versus whiskey for the win. All right. This is Captain Rock Powers, and I want to speak to somebody in charge.
All right. So there's a minute. You hear, "Oh my God, you're still alive!"
Not only alive, but prospering well. Apparently, I'm going to get some super whiskey in about an hour.
We heard something about piracy.
That's just for fun. That's our spare time hobby. We're making our way to the forge, but we're here to report that we have discovered a fully functional base and with some kind of replicating type thing and an osprey. So we're marking this location for you to come get it and award us big prizes.
He says an osprey would be instrumental in you guys pulling a forge up out of the water.
Exactly. That's what I was thinking.
We should tell them about the mermaids that are going to help us, Captain.
Yeah, we have some mermaids that are in on the gig too.
You hear like something in the background, like people start talking, and he goes, "Whoa. You need to stow that that kind of talk." He goes, "You want to see Rangers move really fast? You start talking about naked women in the surf." Listen, can you secure the location?
It's secured. I mean, there's a few undead hanging around, and we've made contact with this group of undead dudes that seem to be pretty cool. But this is our crib now.
You hear like a shuffling, and maybe somebody else taking the radio. You hear, did you say cool undead?
Yeah.
Chill, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean they're undead, but they talk to you, and I think they may be kind of Dio de los Muertos kind of guys.
They party.
I thought they were just necromancers.
Yeah.
I'm so confused. Here, have him back. So the captain gets back on the line, and he's like, "Are you going to hold there so that we can send some fuel, or are you going to make your way still out to the forge to try and recover it yourselves?"
Well, we'll hold here for fuel so that we can take the Osprey to go ahead and cable the forge out of there and deliver it to where we need it to be.
He says, "I can get that to you probably by tomorrow morning, but in order to get that level of fuel to you, we're gonna have to clear. Like, do you have a landing site for this?"
we have a landing pad that this thing raises up on top of. I would assume that you can hover and lower your fuel boom, and then we can just feed it in.
You hear like some crackling, and then you hear, "Sir, they're right here." And there's like a pause, and you hear, "Jesus Christ, you're in like Undead Central."
Well, I mean, it's got some problems, but I mean,
all neighborhoods have that.
Yeah, all neighborhoods. There's always a rough side of town, but like, it's really been no problem for me in my leadership, and I've effectively led this team.
And we've hired mermaids to keep the place clean.
We've hired mermaids. We've made deals with pirates. We pissed off some guy named Trago. I'm going to do him good. And then I think I've got this sweet chick that you're all going to be drooling over because she's smoking hot. And she's pretty much mine. Have you heard of Black Tabitha?
He says, "Captain, mind on mission, please."
Yes. Front sight forward. Black Tabitha.
Lord Dalius says he doesn't like a fixer-upper.
He says, "All right, I'm going to rig up some people and load them up to do an assault on the island to try and clear a path to drop some fuel."
Yeah, and we need medicinal liquor, a lot of it.
Maybe an ammo drop for us.
Ammo drop sounds like a good deal. Can you get me a list of calibers and everything you need? Give me that list in the next few hours.
7.62 and 12.7
in 15 minutes.
Maybe an ammo drop for us.
I'll give him the caliber for the new captured weapons from the gnome. So the axe and pistol gun.
Those are black powder weapons, or that gnome mist weapons.
Right, but I'm sure they can fabricate that, right?
They can fabricate the ball and shot, yeah.
Yeah, and don't forget the medicinal tequila.
I just like that you're bragging about having super whiskey here and then telling them to bring tequila as well.
You obviously don't know any alcoholics because that's how we think.
Yeah, really.
All right, so you guys hang up the call with them, and then shut, command the hologram to start shutting the exterior doors. Sparky's like, "Request a crew chief and tacos."
And stilts for Benny.
And tacos, that's very good.
And stilts for Benny. That was the important part.
As the overhead thing starts shutting, there's a spill of like 4 or 5 bodies that hit the deck right where the elevator platform is. They hit the deck. There's like a wet slap, and then they stand up. It's a big drop. It's a very significant drop, and they stand up, and one of them is wearing armor and a faceplate, but you can still see like there's holes. He's got arrows sticking out of him, what looks like gunshot holes throughout the armor.
I'm
Any
still
symbols?
tree-sized and standing right there. So can I not take them out?
Oh yeah, you can try. You want to roll for initiative?
Holy
I want to
water.
roll for initiative.
I got a 3.
I got a 9. Oh yeah, I thought I was over when I rolled that.
All right. So these things are man-sized. They're dirty, ragged. They look like they were once men. Big, long talons, very big fangs, and long tongues. The other one is wearing like robes, mask, and armor. And he's got what looks like almost like a long-handled mace. He points. Crowley, if he was here, would hear kind of like "get them." And so, what do you guys do?
I'm standing right there, and I'm gonna clobber him. I have my strength, so I want to pick the nearest one up and rip him in half.
All right, so let's see. You were over here. All right,
Correct.
so
Yeah.
So you're gonna grab this guy.
Sure, he's the closest. Then absolutely.
All right, roll for to hit. There are AC 4, so without your bonus, you need a 15.
Do I? So I don't get the. Oh, I get.
No, you do. You do. Yep. So what is it? Yours should be like a. What do you got? A +3?
I get a +1 to the base hit bonus.
Yep.
And I rolled a 19, so that's a 20.
All right. Give me your damage would be 2d8.
All right, let me grab those dice.
Nice.
With my awesome dice.
Nice.
All right. That's stuck in the container it came in. Give it just a second.
This is very compelling radio, JR.
Yeah,
I know.
great.
All right. It said 2 of them.
Yep. 2d8.
8, a 5, and a 3.
All right. You rip off one of its arms, but the rest of it latches onto you and tries to start gnawing. Who's going next?
Is the guy with the mask larger than man size?
No, he's man-sized.
And what is his
everything's
armor
larger
class?
than you.
Was it 8 or 4?
The guys who are...
I just want the guy with the mask.
He's AC 2.
Okay, thank you. Okay, I got a hit with a silver bullet. He's normal size. That's really too bad.
He is.
I got 4 points on him with a silver bullet.
With a silver bullet. It shatters part of the mask. It knocks out several teeth. There's like this wisp and trail of dust as the thing screams from apparent pain from being hit by the silver bullet. That brings us to let's see, Chaos Actual.
Which guy has the sword? There's a guy that has a sword or a single weapon.
So yeah, the guy that's got the weapon is this dude right here.
Okay.
He's got what looks like a long-handled mace.
Perfect. I point at him and declare him as a duelist to be my target. I say, you're next. Then I advance towards him, whip off my sash so it becomes a sword, take in a big mouthful of whiskey, and grab a torch off the wall as I advance.
So you're going to be flaming again?
Well, I've just got a mouthful of whiskey and a flaming torch.
All right. You're stuck there. There we go. I can do this. I've done this before. There we go. All right, now we're good. All right, so you're here. You got a flaming torch, mouthful of whiskey. You'll be able to, because it's kind of a long way, you'll be able to attack next round. Sanogan.
I am going to be moving probably up the same side as our fearless captain.
Gotcha.
And
Nice. Ooh, fearless.
And
someone's going to get an Archon.
I want to take some shots at the guy that's in the back behind the mask guy.
All right, so this dude right here.
Yeah.
All right. What are you using?
The MK18.
All right. Go ahead. You need an unadjusted 15. So that's going to be, I believe, for you, you're level 5, right?
Yeah.
So you need a 10 or higher.
I got an 18.
Oh, nice. Give me damage.
2.
All right, so there's this cool scene where Richardson goes rifle up, right, and he goes into that heel toe walk that operators do so that they can keep their front sight post nice and level. There's no bouncing. He's gliding across the floor. He starts going in a strafing maneuver so that he can fire around his fearless leader. He pulls the trigger, launching a round that travels through one side of its cheek and out the other.
Nice.
Just a little ventilation.
A little ventilation. That brings us to J-Mac.
Are any of the guys with them undead?
They all look undead.
I shout out to one of the undeads. Hey, do any of you guys know Matt Damon? I want to know how he's doing.
These two who were kind of like looking around for targets stop and focus on you, and they start rushing.
Rushing me?
Yes.
They just want to hug. It'll be okay.
I move on the opposite side of Richardson on the hallway. I move up as far as I can to shoot at one of them.
So kind of like here?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
And then, so I'm taking it. It's the two others that are not engaged.
The one right here. Yep, and the one right here.
Okay, I shoot at one of them.
All right, go ahead.
I rolled an 8, which I don't think is enough.
Nope. So rounds skip off of your hide, JR.
How did I not know that was coming?
Deflect the rounds a little bit, and they hit the wall, dislodging a bunch of dust and stone. Booger.
And I shout back, I'm working here.
So, if I'm looking at this correctly, we got 3 people that are within a splash zone area. Is that true?
Yes.
All right. So, and are undead normally susceptible to fire?
Yes.
Well, so yeah, I think the only time you can have too much fuel is when you're on fire. So let's go ahead and say, toss an incendiary vial full of our good stuff.
All right. So are you moving at all? Because you're all the way over here. That's going to be a long throw.
Oh, yeah. I guess move as close as I can within melee range.
So right around here.
Yeah.
You know what Rothman needs? Rothman needs like a jury-rigged M79 that tosses flaming oil, or like just you can put these little tubes in there and snap it and fire.
I'm a former highlight player, so I should be able to lob these things really well. Yeah.
Yeah. You played highlight?
Yeah.
Okay.
Of course you did.
In Florida?
Yeah.
Mr. CIA.
All right. So as you're running over there, the hologram that you've been engaging with says, "Shall I purge enemies, sir?"
Yes.
All right, so you throw the oil. Go ahead, make a roll. And where are you throwing it? So you got
to the far end. So I'm trying to get the 3 or maximum damage
right around here
without hitting Tree Boy.
All right, go ahead.
I got an 18.
All right, so the flask explodes. Right, they all catch fire. There's this massive green pulse that goes through the facility. These guys all drop.
Hooray!
Right? This guy screams and then scurries up and out of the elevator. And the hologram says, "Doors are now closed and sealed." He's like, "We can generate another anti-invasion pulse in 21 hours.
I swallow my whiskey.
Oh my goodness. So the what do you call it? So do you guys start rigging up the Osprey for flight, or like what are you guys doing?
The monster is trapped in that elevator shaft. We go in and kill it.
He's kind of what do you call it? He went into a vent.
He went into a vent.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Great.
Because he didn't want you to ventilate him.
Oh, that's nice.
He wanted to get ahead of you, James.
Oh, there it is. There it is. Well, we wanted to thank everybody for coming out and playing with us today. We had quite a lot of fun. We really appreciate everybody coming out and hanging out with us. Sanokin, thanks for coming back, man. You were like the quiet guy, just waiting for mayhem to happen.
Yeah, just watching it back.
If we got another spot, can we have you back?
Yep, anytime.
Awesome. That's
well,
awesome.
since we're trapped in this place and his character is still there, maybe next week.
It's possible. So final thoughts before we shut the elevator shaft.
Good work, Walt.
Oh, thank you. What was that, Nick?
We love you all.
Yes, we do. And
check out Substack.
Yep. So yeah, we can definitely show off if I can find it somewhere. There we go. So make sure to check out nickcole.substack.com for the best and brightest information of everything Chaos Actual daily at substack.com. We would really appreciate you going to check it out. And we'd like to thank you for hanging out with a bunch of sci-fi writers playing old school D&D.